Welcome back to the channel, Bridging the Gap, Student to Engineer. Today we're going to talk about finding your first job. This is how to find your first STEM job out of school. We'll be focusing on your search for jobs to apply for, other details of how to land your first job and how to choose if you have choices will be in another video. So please let me know what details you're interested in. This video was based on a request, so we're definitely taking requests and answering your questions. So the first thing is to use your network. You know people, whether or not you recognize that, your network is always going to be the best way for you to get a job. So announce your graduation, let people know, let friends and family know. Um, frequently people send out cards saying, I've graduated, or I'm coming up to graduation. Make sure you do those. And especially for people that you know that might be in your field or something related, definitely let them know. And then contact friends who have already graduated. If you've ended up knowing people who graduated a year, 2 years, even 6 months ahead of you, talk to them, find out where they're working, find out if they like it, find out just how they are enjoying being an adult or being post bachelor's or both post degree. And then LinkedIn is really great resource, and you should already have a profile on LinkedIn, but if you don't, please go in there and create a LinkedIn profile. If you want more information about how to do that, I will provide a resource following this video, but definitely make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile. And in there, you can indicate that you're open to work. There is a tab or a toggle to indicate you're open to work. Do that, and that toggle now allows you to identify what type of work that you're looking for. And what that does is it allows other people on LinkedIn to see that, especially recruiters that have the higher level of LinkedIn membership. They can see that you appear on their searches. Make sure you do that. That's kind of like announcing to the world and a lot of people you don't know that you are looking for work. And then within LinkedIn, I said you should already have a LinkedIn profile, but if you don't, establish a profile, but then also make sure you have connections. So send messages to the connections you have, even if you haven't talked to them in a while, even if you had an internship 3 years ago. It's a-okay. People don't feel like you need to be in contact all the time to stay connected. Just reach out again. Just a simple message saying, hey, thinking of you, I'm graduating on X date with Y degree, and I'm looking for work. Do you or anyone you know have work that might fit my interests or might fit my profile, might fit me? Usually people are very happy to help. If you don't hear back from those connections, it's probably because they're not on LinkedIn very often. But if you start doing this a couple months before you graduate, you may get some trickle of support, and you never know when they'll connect you with a job that you didn't know existed and might be your dream job after graduation. Okay, then use school resources. I know you've been on campus for quite some time. Go back to the Career Center again. Ask them for references, ask them for companies that hire from your major. If you've already done this, to look for an internship, definitely continue that discussion with them. You may end up having to go to the websites for those companies, or depending on your school career center, they may provide you with some websites that you can go to where the school has relationships already on the website. I will provide some at the end of this video, but definitely just talk to your career center. See what they have. Their job is to place graduates. It is better for the university if all the graduates are placed within a couple months of graduation. That's something they like to brag about. So they should be there to help you. They're motivated to help you. And then while you're in school, there will be career fairs. Make sure that you attend all of them. I know that this may cut into some other things in your schedule, but as much as possible, attend all the career fairs. Go there with a copy of your resume. Go there prepared to talk about who you are, what you do, what you're interested in. Go there and be ready to just ask recruiters about their companies, because you're going to meet a lot of people that you never heard of, people representing companies that you don't know exist, or industries you don't exist. Be ready to have those discussions about what they do and how somebody with your major might fit in with what they do. Um, Also be prepared for some of those people at the career fairs to be HR professionals, not necessarily technical professionals. So those conversations may be different, but go to the career fair and talk. Be ready to talk to people. Overcome any shyness you have and just walk up and talk to people. Those companies are at those career fairs because they're looking for people like you. Okay, and then ask professors. Whether you go to a large school or a small school, whether you're besties with your professor because you've had them for 8 classes or you just had them for one, ask them for recommendations for employers that would be good for you, your major or your specialty or your interest area. Have those conversations with them. If it isn't easy to just walk up to them after class, go to office hours and just have a conversation. Often companies will have relationships with professors, and professors will recommend their students to employers, and that's a really good way to get an in on a position or a job posting, or maybe even if there's not a job posting, the professors can let you know where previous students have had success. Okay, talk to your friends who are graduating with you. I already talked about friends who previously graduated, but this is friends who either are still in school or graduating with you. Ask about where they're applying. Everybody's doing their own research. And this is not to say to go apply for everything that a friend says they're applying for, but at least to get an idea of where everyone is looking and where they're being successful on getting jobs. Often employers will have a goal to hire a certain number of new grads every year. And if a friend got a job somewhere, they may be able to tell you that that employer is looking for a lot of people. And so you can just jump right in and maybe join in the application, or do something where you've got more information. Okay, and then company hosted events. Just like career fairs, companies go to universities to get connected to students, to find prospective future employees. So these company hosted events, they might look like just an information session. They might look like a seminar on some topic related to your major. They might be very overt and say that they're sponsored by a certain company, or they may not have that label on them. They may be sponsored by a campus organization, but what you'll find out is the pizza and the drinks that are provided are paid for by some company. And the company will often send either representatives to sit in on the event or actually do the presentation. So attend those, and don't just attend. Go up to the speaker afterwards, the company representative, and just talk to them. You don't have to be in their face about needing to get a job, or you could be, but definitely have a conversation with them. Tell them you appreciated them coming. If you can, be prepared with your resume in hand, just so that you can make that connection and they can walk away with something from you. Okay, then beyond your school, industry resources. The industry is there wanting to hire people like you. So it's just a matter of finding where those industry resources are. So I'm going to talk about a series of professional societies and then what you can do with those societies. So there's a lot of different kinds of societies. There's a general STEM area like the National Society of Professional Engineers. That's for all engineers. That's a very broad organization, but definitely one that is active. They have a lot of members. They probably had a chapter at your university, whether or not you were involved. Something to look into. Then your general discipline. So American Society of Civil Engineers is for all civil engineers, for example. Um, there's mechanical. There's a variety of different organizations that are specific to the discipline. So that's getting a little bit more detailed. And then if you go down further, specific specialty. There's organizations for pavement. There's organizations for bridge engineers. There's specific specialties within the disciplines. And as you get into the more specific societies, the societies are smaller, but they are often filled with people who are pretty excited to find new grads that have the same interests in them. There is a society for movable bridge engineers. If you are excited about movable bridges or think that might be an interesting thing to go into, that is something to look into. The Movable Bridge Institute is not going to have a million grads every year coming and going, wow, this is what I've always dreamed of, or I'm really interested in this. How do I get into it? And so they may have different things set up than the National Society of Professional Engineers, but you, you can actually get a lot more attention if you get their attention because you are more unique in being interested in that specialty. Okay, and then specific industry. So this is like there's an organization for military engineers. That is an industry. Military engineering is also considered a discipline within engineering, but engineers that are focusing on military are an industry. There are industries, societies for oil and gas, and those types of industries, pharmaceutical. So if you're interested or think you may be interested in an industry, definitely look for societies that are related to that. And do the same thing. I will get to what to do with all these societies, but definitely look into it. And then minority serving institutions. There are Society of Women Engineers, National Society of Black Engineers. There's minorities in engineering. Um, there are a number of different societies that are focused on the minorities and not necessarily focused on one discipline, specialty, or industry like we talked about. So definitely something to look into. Um, Often you don't need to necessarily be in that minority. You need to be somebody who's a champion for diversity. So usually what we say is that the minority cannot be brought in until the majority brings them in. If you are part of the majority, there's nothing that says you can't be involved in these minority serving societies. It's something that you could definitely do while you're in school. It's something that you should consider doing as a professional. So those are the societies, the general types of societies to look into. If you have any questions about any of them or want recommendations, please leave a comment and I will help you find them. There are a lot out there, and there's going to be something that interests you. And while you're a new grad and you just got a degree in a discipline, it's really easy to look at the STEM area and the discipline. That's super easy to find. What may be a little bit more difficult right now is specialties, industries, and those types of societies. It's something for you to brainstorm and think about. You don't have to have always dreamed of movable bridges to go talk to the Movable Bridge Institute. That's not something that you have to be completely passionate about right now. It's just something that you are interested in and think might be a good area for you to start in. Okay, so once you have identified societies, one more thing, an interest area. This goes along with specialties and industries, but there are very specific interest areas. I mentioned pavement engineering that have societies. They're usually pretty small, but definitely worth looking into. So again, once you identify societies to look into, what I want you to do is look at their websites, look at when they have conferences, and if they have meetings that are local to you. I actually got a job out of school because I went to a local meeting for a national society that I had won an award with 2 years before. I had just moved to town and I thought, okay, how am I going to figure out how to find a job? I looked up the Women's Transportation Seminar, which I had received an award from when I graduated from university. And I went to their meeting and I brought resumes with me. And while I was there before the presentation, I talked to the speaker and I said, hey, I just moved to town. I'm looking for a job. While the speaker was doing her presentation, she said, oh, look, here we have a new grad who's looking for a job. And like, within a couple minutes while she was still talking, like 5 people said, I need your resume. Um, so go out there, put yourself out there, go to conferences, go to the career fairs at the conferences, go to the local meetings, talk to people, look at the websites. Sometimes and often these websites will have jobs posted there. So the websites, the conferences, and the local meetings are ways for you to get information and then connect with people. And those are often really good ways for you to get in to an area that maybe you knew about or maybe that you didn't know about, but can become a really good kickoff to your career. Okay, so exploring more resources. I'm going to put these at the end of videos as much as I can. But when you're looking for jobs, make sure that you have a LinkedIn resume, make sure that it says you're open to work. There's some other websites on here that are mostly specific to new grads and interns, but College Recruiter, After College and Handshake are all more focused on new grads, which hopefully is you. So look into those, look into Indeed and anything else. If your college career center says that they have some other website, by all means go there. But don't be discouraged if nothing pops up right away. Talk to professionals, request help here, provide comments, ask, and there are people out there who are interested in helping you. I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to help. So there are lots and lots of people who want to help. Not everybody is going to make a YouTube channel, but find people who can help you. If you don't know anybody or feel like you're lost, please leave a comment and I will definitely help you get connected. So with that, thanks again for tuning in to Bridging the Gap Student to Engineer. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell, and check out our other videos. Until then, thanks.